Oh, it's such a sad moment for Ghana. But what can we say? Life still moves on. We met with Gabon today and we're all expecting that we're going to win, but unfortunately, at the very last moment, we lost. But life still moves on. Good evening, Nigeria. Good evening, South Africa, Tanzania, Kenya, wherever you're watching from in Africa, Europe, UK. My name is DJ Parker Rich, and today we are bringing you review, analysis, and I mean, anything you want to. Actually, today I'm really down because of the loss of Ghana blackstars, but life still moves on. I have my brother on the line. His name is Natsobin. He's a sport journalist. He works with Onya TV in Ghana. So I'm here with him to discuss details. What went wrong on the pitch today? What went wrong on the bench? Let's talk to Nat. Nat, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Yourself?
Yeah, doing great. Not too great. We lost to Gabon, so the feeling isn't so good. Like
we drew against Gabon.
But I see that as a defeat. Because there's no way we're going to make it through, bro.
Yeah, it's difficult.
What's the possibility? Tell me. I mean, you guys are good in the calculation when it comes to those. What are our chances?
Then it means we have to beat Comoros with like two or more goals.
Two or more
goals. Yeah. No, I think 2 or more goals will be okay. Because currently we have a deficit of 1. We lost our first game to Morocco by a goal to 0.
Yeah.
Yes, and today we drew. We played 1-1 against Gabon, so we still have a deficit of 1 goal. That's in our next game against Comoros. We have to do all we can to score more goals against them, but that's a big question. Whether we'll be able to score more goals is another question for the day.
Well, my brother, what really happened? I mean, you guys are the experts. You've got the eyes. Even at home, you can clearly tell where the mistakes were from. What was the problem today?
Thank you very much for having me on your platform and your cherished viewers this evening. My problem, or the problem with the Blasters, is beyond Milovan Rajevac. And Milo was brought in thinking that he'll be able to solve the main problem for.
Yeah, bro, thank you very much for having me on your platform. What I would say is, in all, I think this is not the Blasters team that we used to know. We didn't put sort of fear into the opponent, so the opponent also had the edge to push forward and ask questions. The opponent threw a lot of questions to our midfield, our defense, and also to our attacking machinery as well. So if you ask me, that particular one, lack of concentration, then poor defending resulted into that. It was a free kick around the center line. They quickly effected the free kick to the guy, I think Obiang, who was, close to Andy Adams, who was playing at the right back. And I thought it was a poor defended, because if you watch the video clip over and over again, you will see that Andy Adams was going back, giving the player a space, and it was sometimes we call it shadow marking. That sort of marking, it was very, very poor. Instead of close the person up, because you have enough numbers in the defense. So why must you give a shadow marking, or give a space to an opponent, and you'll be going forward? So the player had the ample time to think about what you should do with the ball, and they did perfectly. You can't blame the goalkeeper. I mean, he did very well by getting, his first goal post intact. So the player had the enough space to cut in and just, I mean, give that, space, shot, and it's resulted into the equalizer. So I wasn't surprised, but in all, I think this is not the Blackstars team that we know. I mean, we've played poorly. 2 matches played at the AFCON so far, and we've played very, very poor. I mean, our first game against Morocco, we lost by a goal to the Moroccans, but we played very poorly. The game management was very poor. Organization on the field of play was also poor. Now, when the program was in session, or when was it? When the game was in session,
Yeah.
we had a coach who stood on his feet. I mean, throughout the 90 minutes, the first game just as this one, and it was just scratching on top of his head. Couldn't effect changes. And I thought the coach, standing on the touchline, will be reading. But unfortunately, we had a coach who can read the game and make effective changes to bring the necessary results. Look at this game that we lost. The first game, Ghanaians were complaining about his late, substitution antics. This game too, he waited till 89th minute when the people have equalized around the 88th minute for him to effect 2 changes, which was wrong. And besides that, I didn't see any sort of changes that you can tell that, hey, this kind of change is a change that has brought some positive effect to the Blasters team, because this is a Gabon side. They were playing 3 in defense, 5 in midfield, and 2 in attacking. So it tells you that, one, you need to have a good right and left backs who can join the center backs, or a good defense that can close up the gap between the midfield and the attacking machinery of the Gabon. But here is the case: our coach stood on his feet 90 minutes. He couldn't read the game, and to deploy a tactics to stop the Gabonese from coming. And this is a Gabon side who had the confidence to play a 3 defensive setup against Blasters of Ghana. And you could see that our attacking machinery, the Jordan Ayew, initially when we started, Jordan Ayew and Didi Ayew on the right flanks, then Suleiman, Kamadi Suleimana on the left flanks. When Ghana is not in possession of the ball, they all drop deep into the midfield, sometimes to the defense, to come and help in defensive duties, leaving Didi Ayew up front. Didi is not the Didi that we knew 20 years ago, who will be a bit quick and sharper up front. So why should a coach, deploy a tactics like this against a Gabon side who is playing 3 in defense? So in the first place, we lost the game from the bench. The selection, the coach brought 11 months starting lineup against Gabon, but his strategy, his game management, the organization on the field of play was poor, if you should ask me. So I wasn't surprised when we drew, even when we were leading by 1 goal. Those who were listening to my platform on Onia 95.1 FM, I kept telling people, this is a AJ style of football. You score 1 and you can't manage the game properly, and people keep putting a lot of pressure. Your defense is very poor. The organization at the back is very poor, and a coach of your magnitude coaching the Blasters, you stand on your feet and you couldn't deploy any sort of strategy to stop the people from coming. This is a side that without Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and they could still get an equalizer against Blasters. It is bad and it's sad.
Yes, my brother. This is very sad and this is very bad. But then, compared to our last game, there are a lot of people with the view that we played better than our last game. Is there any positive thing that we did in this match, or you think that still we haven't improved even from our last defeat?
Yes, we played better than last match. One, because of the strength of the opponent. You understand my point? And I think after the first half, Blasters were having 53 of the ball possession. But when it comes to the attempt on goal, that shot on goal, I mean,
Yeah.
the Gabonese had a lot of ball targeting our goal post. That's 7 times. We had like three, one on target. Then Gabon had like that's three on target. So it is something that I thought that the technical bench of the Ghana Blasters team didn't manage the game properly. Their strategy and the attitude, the mindset going to this game was very poor. I mean, before this tournament, Blasters played against the Desert Forces of Algeria, and we struggled. They defeated Blasters 3-0. 3-0. They said it was a preparatory game
Very pathetic.
without the DIU and Jordan, but he going into a tournament and you can tell me that, oh, you are just trying against Algeria. Then I realized that we are not serious. We're having a coach who don't even read and understand the modern day football. It's sad. It's sad that the Blasters of today is being managed by a coach who was sacked 2 years ago. He was in the house without a job. He was coaching Thailand, and India, came to defeat Thailand by 4-1 in Thailand. Then after that, Thailand sacked this coach. He was in the house for 2 years without any, club or national team attachment. Then the Blasters, the Ghana Football Association, decided to employ him. Now I thought maybe people saw, what it is him that myself I didn't see, because I campaign against this seriously. I don't see the essence, the sense in it in employing a coach, because the dynamism in world football keeps changing. So if you sit in the house and you don't equip yourself with the needed knowledge and information, hey, you get yourself stuck in the process. And I'm not surprised that Milo is struggling with the Blasters now, because it tells you that he lacks the techniques about modern day football. This is a Blasters team which is very poor from the goalkeeping to attack. It's very poor. Very poor.
Going forward, do you think there is anything we can do to save the situation or make the situation better than it is now?
The solution don't lies in the hands of Milovan Rajevac. It is a general problem that as a country who loves football, we should start facing it. The government has a role to play. The GFA has a role to play. Each stakeholder in Ghana football has a role to play. The football today has changed. It is not like 2000 or 20 years ago or 10 years ago. It is scientific now. So if we want to change our football and get back to our feet, one, we need to come and reorganize ourselves. That golden generation that we used to tout ourselves, so we are the super powerhouse of African football here and there. We are no more. We are joking. Others are putting measures in place to ensure that they will get a team. Before going to this tournament, we do not have any core team that we can say it is the Blasters starting lineup. These are good players who can start for the Blasters on any day. We don't have.
If you can take a minute, I can show you a post on Twitter by Nana Fimpomso, and then they posted the same Milovan with a different squad when Richard Kingston, the Antonianas, and the John Mensah, the DIU, Derek Watson. I don't know if you can see that from your screen. A lot of people are making us believe that this team would have done better than what these guys are doing now. But then I don't think even at the time that they were playing, they met up to the expectations of Ghanaians. So I personally think that the coach isn't a good coach for Ghana, and as soon as possible, we'll have to get rid of him. We have to get rid of him because I
Yes.
am thinking CK could have equally performed the same way he's doing on that level.
They are the same. If CK should have led these blasters to AFCON, this should be the same, or this would have been the same results he would produce. I mean, CK wasn't.
But at
Me,
least we
I
were
think
going to
CK.
save some money.
This argument about we'll save money, even if we'll bring the money that they are spending there to Ghana, the politicians will use 1 week to spend it. Don't go there. Don't go there. The kind of money being squandered in politics in Ghana, I mean, my man, the kind of money they are squandering or they spend in politics in Ghana, compare that one to football. It's just a minute.
I understand perfectly. So going forward,
So that's why I'm saying that the problem is if we really learn and understand football, Milovan wasn't the right, I mean, person to replace CK.
yeah.
He wasn't. CK was rushed to manage the Blasters, so it was wrong. You going to pick Milo, who has not been an active football for the past 2 years, to come and coach the Blasters, was also no. All because he led Ghana to play in the quarterfinal in the World Cup. So
All right. So quickly, let's touch on at the later parts of the match. We saw some kind of fights there and all that. I mean, that is so uncalled for. I mean, I felt very disappointed when our parliamentarians were misbehaving, and then we also seen that in our footballers fighting on the football pitch when they've lost a match. What's your comment about that? Do you have anything to say about that?
Yeah, it's just rather unfortunate that that incident happened on the field of play after the game. I think the coach of Gabon is a bit troublesome because I think even during the game, one of our players had an altercation with him. Then after the game, I saw the day, I mean, getting to going after the coach of Gabon. Yes.
Yeah.
So I was like, what might have necessitated that? Then I saw other players also running onto the field. Then both team players started exchanging words and pushing here and there. Then I think along the line I saw Benjamin Tete having an altercation with one of the Gabonese players. Yes. Then the rest. The next thing I saw is one of their players on the floor. Then the coach or the referee decided to give the red card, asking party to go and call the
That
Ghanaian
was a
player
very
wearing the
funny scenario there because nobody knew who the red card was for, but then he was in search
yeah Benjamin
of the
Tete. He was
person.
the one wearing the 25 JC. So the referee
Yeah.
was instructing party to go and call him. And party was like, I don't know the person. No one wears the 25 in the team, number 25 in the team. So along the line, the referee decided, hey, then go and tell the one wearing the 25 that I have shown him red card. And I think they manage it well. I mean, the emotions are high. I think the
Yes.
players themselves,
I mean, the
they
guys
will
felt
be
very
disappointed.
disappointed when they conceded
Yeah,
that goal.
yes. But
For
I
the
think
first time, I would
probably
say
the coach
that
of,
you can actually see from the faces of the players that they were actually hungry for the victory. But it looks like the problem was coming from the bench, the coordination and how to, I mean, get the players to play well was the problem. And at a point, I
so
felt that they
when you
were
go to a
relaxed.
tournament like this, yes, when you go to a tournament like this, you need team play. Then when the need arises, one or two individual brilliance will come into play to save the day for a team. But this
Yeah.
one, we don't have a team, so you can't even use the individual play to outwit any opponent. We need to have a team, a pattern, a style of play, a strategy. When they go and get up, then how do we switch? our strategy or information to the second strategy. Or this one, it seems we don't even have a first strategy. We struggle with our own tactics being deployed by a white coach in the person of Milban Rajabach. Entire Ghana. Even if we don't have a coach in the person of any Ghanaian or a local coach, why can't we employ a competent, a good, for that one matter, even if it costs that huge sum of now the last chance the Blasters have is against Comoros. They have to do everything to win that game. A win will save them. I think one after because even if we win by one goal, then we need to wait and see if some other teams in the other groups also will have a third option if they have to get a good position or a bad position. That will determine the Blasters progression into the next stage of the competition or not. So let's hope that they'll be able to beat Comoros by 2 or more goals to see the Blasters through. If not, then I'm sorry. That will be the first time Blasters is packing 8 bags, or Blasters packing themselves from a major tournament like AFCON in an early stage. A team like Blasters coming back home. Yeah.
Very embarrassing.
So,
very embarrassing.
in as much that I disagree with the appointment of Milo and is coming into the Blasters, I still wish the Blasters can do well to salvage their image.
But then, regardless, do you think that when we progress to the next stage, I mean, we are going to meet more tougher and better team than what we even met? Can we sail through?
That one, football sometimes doesn't follow logic. Anything can happen.
Let's
but per what I've seen, it will be difficult.
See how we can cross it.
Yes, but per what I've seen, it will be very difficult.
Well, for now, we're going to bank all our hopes on Nigeria and then see what will come out of their match tomorrow. If they're able to do well, another West African country.
Yeah, they will. They have a good team. They have a good team.
Yes. But one more thing. I personally think, apart from Dede, Jordan, and Partey, from my own point of view, I see the rest of the team members as strangers. Like, they are all even new to the Ghanaian fans. So I feel that when we give them some time and we stick to this team, probably they might do well.
Yeah, there are 1 or 2 good players in the team that need to be kept. But aside that, this is an ordinary side. When you take these players, so I think individually we don't have 2 star-studded side. So the coach need to create that environment to bring that kind of sort of bond and that team spirit and cohesion between the players, both on and off the pitch, so that any player within this 28 member squad that went to Cameroon, if we are to call upon to come and rescue Ghana when the need arises, the player will feel comfortable to settle in. But we don't have that core of the team for any player from the bench to come in and do wonders or magic for us. So I don't have any star. When you compare the Blasters team to that of Nigeria, Nigeria, for example, because they are our sister country, yes, majority of Ghanaians are also in Nigeria. Nigerians are also here. You understand? So let me see that. When you compare this Nigeria side to Ghana, you realize that you have a long way to go. You understand? You have a long. Compare that one to Ivory Coast. It is only Senegal who have a lot of stars at their disposal, but they are also struggling to put up a team. So you see what I was saying. You can have good players, you can have ordinary players, but you need to, I mean, prepare a good team with these players. You selected them, so prepare a good team to play as a unit. And not like everybody is playing a disjointed style or architecture style of football. Then to expose your tactics or philosophy or strategy as a coach. So that's my issue. The coach is the problem. That's me. 2 matches. When you take our friendly game against Algeria, then our first group game against Morocco, and today, it boils down to the fact that we're having a weak bench, a bench who cannot read the opponent's strategy or games before the game, during the game, and you want to win an AFCON with a coach or a bench like this, and you don't have a team to. I'm sorry.
Well, brother, I think you've said enough, and then you're running late. It's 11 o'clock, so I'll leave you here so that we do justice to Nigeria match tomorrow. We wish the Black Stars all the best. If they are able to sail through,
Yeah.
we are Ghanaians. We are still with them. If not to,
Yes.
we'll sing them Osibisa, welcome back home. My brother, thank you for having time to speak to us on SMO Ghana. A lot of people are,
Thank you very much.
loving your contribution all the way from Nigeria and other African countries. I'm sure maybe one day when they meet you at this tournament, that, and all that. So thank you for your time and all
Oh
that.
yeah. I was supposed to go to Cameroon, but I think we'll meet. We have a lot of tournament or sports events around the world this year, so
Most definitely. Most definitely.
we might meet any of them.
Yeah.